So there's a lot beneath the actual ground level that we are not always we are just simply not able to see from our perspective.
When the twin towers of the World Trade Center collapsed, they created a whole new landscape. What looked like a field of rubble was merely the surface of an underground world of caverns, shafts and passageways, hundreds of feet deep.
A giant basement as big as 8 city blocks and more than 75 feet deep. It contained 7 levels of parking lots, maintenance offices, mechanical rooms, and the path, a commuter rail system running under the Hudson River from New Jersey.
Further down, they discovered staircases that were almost intact, which aided their descent into the underworld.
Another van!
The deeper they went, the more preserved everything was. 100 feet down, they found an eerie world of underground shopping malls and car parks that in places were virtually untouched.
When you'd enter into a location, it looked as it did on September 10th. Some of the parking areas, the cars were in pristine condition. A lot of the cars were driven out of the place.
It was extraordinary that amidst 1 million tons of rubble, Mickey had found the remains of the friend he'd been searching for.
I wasn't about to unzip the bag. I mean, it was 3 months, right? But I did feel him from his toes to his head.
Jonathan was identified through his dental records. The search for human remains was now widening to include the rooftops of buildings around the World Trade Center. It was here that 2 lower leg bone fragments were found.
But it had its roots at 270 Broadway. In 1942, the North Atlantic Division of the Army Corps of Engineers received orders to begin coordinating the atomic bomb project right here.
The Army Corps of Engineers had offices all over the country. This New York office was the first place where what would become the Manhattan Project was established, and this is the reason why it was called the Manhattan Project.
The use of uranium was critical to the project's success. When people visit the famous Wall Street Bowl, they're just steps from 25 Broadway, the former offices of Edgar Sondier, a Belgian who provided 2/3 of the uranium the Manhattan Project used. He ran an import-export company and stored hundreds of tons of uranium on Staten Island.
He told the U.S. government that he had this uranium, but no one took him up on the offer to do anything about it because the officials didn't know about the research that was going on. But word finally did reach General Groves and the Manhattan Project in September of 1942. This 1,200 tons was just a godsend, that it was there, ready to be used, and Sondier, of course, willing to provide it.
We want to just take you through this. It's live. It's right before your very eyes.
The World Trade Center is gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Both buildings collapsing.
It was the personal involvement of many of the searchers that made the recovery at Ground Zero such a success.